Yes, you will be able to trade on day one. Yes, you'll be able to make money from day one, but being consistent and getting to the point where you can be like, yeah, I'm a financial trader and I'm very good at it, may not happen until 3 years.
Slide this way if you're trying to see results.
Hey guys, it's Hither Mann here. I hope you're having a lovely day. I am doing a YouTube video on a request actually, because somebody asked me, how do I pick my students for Forex trading currently? So this video is going to be dedicated to the criteria that I look for in trading students. So for example, if you came to one of my events, which I hold in London once a month, I only do them in London because quite frankly, I think if you don't make the effort to come to London, then you haven't got what it takes anyway in terms of perseverance. I don't make it easy, I appreciate that. But I do think London is the best place for me to teach my wealth building workshops because the vibes are very different. If anyone's been to London, you'll understand what I mean. The buzz is so different to places like Manchester, Birmingham, Leeds, Cardiff, and I'm talking about UK cities. Now, I have people that come from all around the world to my events, and I'm really honored because I don't know, you just find me on social media and you actually really do want to come out and learn, and I appreciate those kind of people so much. So those kind of people have definitely got what it takes because they're committed. They actually fly over, and I've had people from Europe, I've had people from Canada, and the furthest one was down in Texas. So I am really, really appreciative. Now, what do I look for in my students, or when I pick a student? Well, okay, this is for when I teach on, not online, because online is a new thing that I'm going to be doing coming up very shortly. If you're watching this way past when it was recorded, it's probably going to be launched. Hopefully by then it will already be launched. But I have done almost 3 years of teaching people in person and not online, because quite frankly I enjoy the experience of learning about the person while I teach them, because when I spend days and days teaching them one-on-one, or okay, it's in a small group, not exactly one-on-one, but I do have a lot of one-on-one time with them, I learn a lot about you, because I learn about your way your mindset works, what reservations you have in terms of how far you want to push yourself. I'm your coach. So that's the best way in person to learn about you. I learn about your relationship with wealth and the sabotage habits you perhaps have that will stop you being successful. So I'm there to try and break those and get you past those levels. So what I look for in a student is, number one, the fact that you can appreciate how important mindset is, because without understanding the 80-20 shift, so 80% of trading is a successful trading, profitable trading, is mindset. It's all in your mind. Are you willing to work on yourself? Are you willing to dig deep and figure out, are you trading from a place of ego in an unhealthy way? I.e., does the win make you feel good? Does the loss make you feel bad? You haven't got it right yet, because although it's very difficult, you're supposed to have no emotional attachment to the trades. It's just a systematic procedure, and you should enjoy the process. The whole thing should feel good. You know, the whole thing should teach you about yourself. You should be learning from the process. However, if you feel like a failure, and then when you lose trading, then you start going crazy and try and jump in the market again and overtrade and try and recoup your losses, that's the kind of mindset that will really burn you. And that's what 95% of people do. And that's why Forex has got such a high failure rate. So when I pick a student, I make sure I try and pick that 5% that actually have what it takes to be successful. And that 5% happen to be the ones who are dedicated to working on themselves. So number one, the first box I would tick off would be, are you willing to work on yourself? Number two is learning Forex or crypto or anything. Well, you know, in Fortune Academy, we teach not just Forex, we teach crypto, we teach e-commerce, we teach online stuff, and we have a mindset program as well. At the moment, we have plenty more coming up, so stay tuned. But right now, everyone who goes through a program, especially Forex, which is the hardest one, but the most fulfilling one for me personally, because it gave me a lifestyle that I would never have got through anything else. I've done property in the past, I've done 9-to-5s, you know, and Forex was the only thing that gave me that flexibility of being in my house and not having to leave perhaps, or being anywhere in the world and not having to worry about the money aspect. So yes, you can get that from online businesses as well, which is something that I came across later. But when I did Forex, I don't think anything can beat the complexity and the hardship involved in learning financial trading successfully. So once you do this properly, I think anything else you touch will turn to gold. So the second thing I look for in a student is just knowing that when you go onto a Forex training course through Fortune Academy, we're a lifetime company, lifetime education company, because we quite frankly know that you can't become an overnight superstar when it comes to Forex or anything in fact. So financial trading, you have to dedicate as much as 3 years at least to really feel like you've got this control from an emotional point of view. Yes, you will be able to trade on day one. Yes, you'll be able to make money from day one, but being consistent and getting to the point where you can be like, yeah, I'm a financial trader and I'm very good at it, may not happen until 3 years. So this is where my second criteria when I look into picking a student is, are you willing to take that 3-year period to dedicate and commit yourself to trading? And this doesn't mean you have to spend hours a day trading. Trading is supposed to be, when I teach it, an hour a day. Now we have a window whereby you pick your hour, and if you have certain other trading strategies, you have 2 times in a day that you can trade. When you get very advanced, you can pick any time, and based on the strategy, based on your risk profile, you'll be able to cherry pick a trade, whether it's in the US market, Asian market, or of course European market. So it becomes more complex as you get more advanced, but any level, you are not designed to stare at a screen all day, because what do I create for you if I do that? Another 9 to 5. Are you stuck in a box? Or you're stuck doing something, you're pinned down to something. I do not like that lifestyle, and I know there are different ways of trading, but the way I have been taught from my mentor, my trader, and the way I teach my students through Fortune Academy is not to have another 9 to 5, is not to give yourself, you know, complete non-flexibility. I want to give you that opportunity to create wealth and not complain about life. Multiple streams of income is something I do talk about on very many occasions. Financial trading is one of them, and if you have a few strategies that you've mastered, they can actually be your streams of income. But I do like people to go into another market, financial market, whether it's crypto or equities, to become a better trader, because of macroeconomics and the fundamentals, i.e. the news behind the price movements, is so important. It will go across the financial markets and it will make you a better, more rounded trader. So I do think it's worth, you know, once you get good at one industry, to then explore another one when you have the time, and then spend more time to dedicate, and you'll find the overlap happens. So the second thing I do require from my students, like I said, is treat it like a university career minimum, and you'll be good. So give yourself at least 3 years for it to sink in. Okay, last thing, number 3, is continuous education. So that means, okay, I know I said number 2 is give yourself 3 years, that's one thing, but number 3 is also constantly learn that the market's changing, that whatever happens. Now, I don't like back testing, because I've learned from my traders that, you know, whatever happened in the 1940s isn't forever going to happen now, because technically we're a different generation, and the psychology behind the markets that was happening back then isn't necessarily going to happen now. So yes, there is some repeated patterns, and there are psychological areas and pricing demarcations in your financial charts that you'll see that will be hesitation around those areas, support and resistance, or, you know, just psychological levels whereby we know that the market will cause a bit of a panic buy or sell off or whatever. However, there are always going to be freak and fluke moments, because we're going to have the economic cycles changing, getting bigger. The debt in this country, in this world, is getting bigger consistently. So you're going to have to take into account that the market is not 1940s anymore, it's not the 1930s, it's not whatever, you know. So you have to consistently realize that what we're dealing with right now, you cannot rely on the old news forever to help you with what's going to happen in a future projection. You have to consistently and continuously learn about financial trading. So if you've got all 3 of those categories, so let's recap. Number 1 is you're willing to work on yourself, and you realize that a good trader has 80% of his time or her time dedicated to working on themselves and figuring out their ego and relationship with money, etc., etc. By the way, if you don't know how to do that properly, I have a wealth building mindset retreat, wealth building masterclass, which I held in Sicily. So make sure, if you want to learn how to get good at this, anyone in the world is welcome. It's by invitation only through, obviously, me, Fortune Academy events. if you're across the pond, in America or another part of the world, I have lots of amazing viewers from Africa, from Asia, from Australia, whatever, wherever you guys are. If you want to learn from me personally how the mindset thing works, then get on one of my retreats. It's really worth it. Make sure you click on one of the links below where it describes a retreat and apply for it, because we will take on a very select few people to work with, because I only can handle so much. So yeah, that's where I would cover the mindset. So number one, tick that off. Number two, treat it like university education. Give yourself at least 3 years to get good at this. If you're happy with that, then you have what it takes to be a trader. Number three is the markets are gonna give you new, incredible movements that have never happened in historical data before. So do not rely on historical data for you to predict the future. You can't predict the future, really. We've only got a probability of it happening. But if you're wanting to give yourself a continual education on the industry, even though you've mastered it and you've dealt with the emotional roller coaster in trading, you still have to learn new stuff. You cannot stop learning in this industry. You've got to keep on top of it. So if you've got that, then you've got all three things that I look for in a student. And that's the kind of people I want to work with. So, you know, online trading, students, you guys that will come on board, I hope that made sense for you. And well, you follow those criteria before you come and join my course, because it is designed to make you money and it is designed to make you do well. But the last thing I want is to disappoint anyone who's got that get rich quick mentality, because quite frankly, it won't happen. So anyhow, I hope that YouTube video was handy for you. A lot of info, I know I was talking a lot, but it has to be done. So I really enjoy getting your feedback. Make sure you contact me on social media. That's my best way of contacting you guys, actually. So my social media, number one place that I do talk to most of my audience is Instagram. So follow me on Instagram, message me on Instagram. I find that really easy to work with. I am also on Twitter, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook. I have 2 Facebook accounts. One is a page, one is my personal profile. You know, message me on all of those. If you really can't get hold of me, you will get hold of me on one. Instagram is probably the best shout, but just follow me. And I cannot wait to hear from you. So speak to you soon. Bye.
Slide this way if you're trying to see results. Active, get active, they can't match this. I got ambition, I'm driven. Hither, man, got the vision. Stay woke, if you're trying to win, you should listen. If you're trying to win, you should listen. Stay woke, if you're trying to win, you should listen. If you're trying to win, you should listen. Stay woke.